Oh, that's on this screen. How funny. Go away. I was like over here trying to turn it. I was like, oh, I'm in the wrong window. I'm not. I'll get there. All right. So there are 3 of them. I will do 2. I will let you pick which 2 you think you want me to do. Technically, the later ones would be the harder ones. So if you would like me to do the last 2, okay. All right, we will start with the best-selling video games. Now, also in this class next week, your week is easier than the. If there's online kids listening to this, your week is different. But so I can move the deadline for this if any of you are like, hey, I didn't get to those, I had troubles. If you're like, I'm going to work on them next week, just so they get in before the midterms, I can do that. I'm not so mean. All right, best-selling video games. Go over here. Not so mean. And I found a really good representation for the. Oh, I see. Sleep recommendation list. Best-selling video games. All right. Can I scroll down, please? Thank you. I'm going to hit this F11. Look through 17 different windows. All right, best-selling video games table. We need to add the following rules to the styles.css. An ID selector with the ID game table should have a boundary property and then have a text line property and have a height of 200 pixels and a width of 400 pixels. So we'll start with that part right there. So we have our root, and down here is where we're going to write our bits. So the first thing is going to be an ID game table. I'm going to copy it so I don't get this spelled wrong. It helps if you don't copy the thing you just wrote, like I just did. I have giant fingers on this. Control V. So just so you know, we're doing the 2 hardest labs, and then you'll have to do the easier one yourself, and then there's a bonus. And if you need additional time next week, because I won't be here or whatever, here physically, I can move the deadline if enough people are like, hey, I'd really like that extra time, then we can do it. Because you don't have any labs next week, so, if I was thinking ahead, I would have just made them 2 weeks, but I didn't. But some people like to just get stuff done, too. So, all right. So we're making the ID game table, and we want it to have a border property with a 2-pixel solid border using table color. Now, most things in life are not going to be handed to you in such a way that you can totally take what they've given you and put it into place. But solid. Oh, I have caps lock on. I didn't mean that. Shift. So this gives us a border of 2 pixels, solid, of the table color. Then we must text align center. And the book practically wants to hand you the answer, which is nice. And then a height of 200 pixels and a width of 400 pixels. So let's double check. Height 200, width 400. Height 200, width 400. All right, that looks to be about the right height as our example. So the next thing that it wants us to do is the descendant selector that targets the caption inside the table. So when we reference a descendant, we must reference the parent first. So the descendant caption is a descendant of table, which it says in the sentence, but it's such an awkward sentence. But it's going to say table and then caption, and that's how we define that. If it had just told you to use the table caption, then I think you would have understood just as much. Like, make the table caption be like this instead of using the element, reference the element caption, which is inside the table. But they like to use their words. All right. Bless you. All right. And we want the text transform property to be uppercase. Oh, I put 2 semicolons there. Let me take care of that. All right. Old habits die hard. And then the background color should be the table color, and the font color should be white. And the font color, which is just color. This is another area where I see people write font dash color, and then it doesn't work. And white is just 6 Fs. You can also just use 3 Fs for octal, but I don't know if I want to confuse you guys with that, because then colors get a little weird when you have hexadecimal. And then padding is 10 pixels. You can see as I'm changing this style sheet, the page is changing every time I do something. So now it's got the green top. That looks correct. So then we need to add the pseudo class for the nth child for the TR. I'm going to copy nth child even so I don't misspell it. I went too far. Oh no, I've gone too far. All right. So it'll be for the TR. So then it's the nth child even. We open our bracket. I keep hitting caps lock on and off. And then the background color is going to be row BG color. So that makes every even row be that light lime mint color maybe. All right. So then I'm going to submit it. Seven out of 10. Okay. Game for test game table ID selector. Aha. In the HTML, No, it's there. ID game table. That's what? Oh, I see. I gotta wait for it to go red. Oh. Okay. Okay. See, I should have looked at the answer. I thought I knew what I was doing. Okay, they want us to use the word white. All right. There we go. I'm so used to it telling me that, well, in the real world, the things that are wrong show up closest to the top, you know? I just have to train myself. 10 out of 10. All right, so it wanted it to be white. There it is on the screen. And then I'm going to put the two videos together and upload them to YouTube so you can watch the first half of the labs and then the project part together. So, all right. So then the auto loan. It's another table. Looking at the rattlesnake one. All right, auto loan. All right. As long as you guys are okay doing the two tables here. The other one should be extra easy in comparison. All right, so we have the following style rules that we need to add. There's a whole list of them. And then right, these guys use the hexadecimal. There's so many colors. Oh my goodness. Okay. This is the one I should make you guys do at home. So many color codes. Okay. So the first thing that we need to do is set our default fonts. It should be Roboto, Helvetica, and Sans Serif. Yeah. Okay. Let's make sure it wasn't root. Being all clever over here. Font, family. Take out the and put in a comma. Sans serif. If it was something like our website where we have industry, that has to be in quotes because it's a special one. But Roboto is not. Apparently very fancy. The heading should be 16 points and using this color of gray. So to figure out what that style is, if we go and we look in the HTML, the comparison of dealer incentives and loan offers is H1. So then we'll say H1 and open our curly braces. We'll do font size, and of course it took mine away, 16 pixels. And then color, not font color, should be 444, 444. All the fours. Then we need to define a container with center text and 5-pixel margin and a font size of 13 pixels. So. Now, since it's a class, it starts with a period and then container. And then we open our curly braces. So text is handled by text align, and then we want it to be centered. We will want a margin of 5 pixels, and then end in a semicolon. And then the font size, 13 pixels. For the old midterm, I told students wherever they saw the of to just change it to be colon, because it literally said the parameter, you know, and then what I wanted it to be. And like I said, it was like 100 lines, like one line that told you what to do for each thing for the page, and the page was pretty long. And there'd be font size of 13 pixels, font color, like throughout the whole thing. I think all it did was reinforce bad behavior. All right, so then we need to define, each offer is defined in a section element with the class offer. So we don't need to make a section, we need to do a class for offer. And then the offer is displayed inline block with 400 pixels, 4 pixel margin. I'm just going to copy all of this for my notes because it's very far down the page. The important thing is that the class is named offer. Didn't mean to do that. I was just, there we go, trying to get back there. All right. Display is going to be inline block. We'll have a width of 400 pixels, a 4 pixel margin. Centered text. You will find that you will spend most of your time writing text align center. I know I did. And then a 1 pixel solid border using CCCC. One second. All right, so border, and we're going to put all of our things in our border. It's going to be 1 px, and it's going to be solid, and then the color is 6 C's. I saw it did that when I made the other thing. All right, then the offer title will have an offer title class, good, where we're going to make the title a little bit bigger and change the background color so that it stands out a little bit more. And since it is a class, we use the period. And then '14 bold font with the white color in the background. We'll run this one. Now there isn't an easy way to put all of these into one, unfortunately. Font weight would be bold. This color is white, and its background color is this. Oh, did it again. Has no margin and 15 pixels of padding. So we say margin 0. Oh, 0 px. In the real world, 0 works okay too, but this will probably ding me if I don't. And so then we say padding of 15 pixels. Because the pixels is assumed, I think. All right. Offer contents are defined in a div with the class offer contents. Offer content class has a, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. I'm so sorry. Pixel, 20 pixels of padding, and the background color is fa, 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 fa. You know, they need to make one that's fa, la, la, la. Just joking, Hex doesn't go that high. All right. Offer content. Now I've done it. Shrunk the window down. That is our background color. And then the padding of 20. Then we get to all the table rules. Fun times. This is gonna be a lot. I was trying to get it so I could see it all on the screen so I didn't have to keep scrolling up, because that really bothers me when I have to watch a video of somebody doing that. It's even worse. All right. So all of our requirements up here. The table should have a width of 100, the background color of white, and no border spacing. The header cells should have a 12-point bold font with the color of another gray. And the data cells should have a font lighter than normal weight with the color of a darker gray. 10 header cells should have 10 pixels of padding and no margin. The data cells should have 10 pixels of padding on the left and the right, and 20 on the top and the bottom, and no margin. They should all be left aligned, and then they should have a solid bottom border of 1 pixel using F1, 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 which is another gray. All the grays. All right. So the table width will be 100%. Now I look at the grammar. All right. The background color is white. Okay. I was looking and I'm like, I don't see the number. There we go. And the border spacing is 0, and that is just how it says. Border spacing 0, 0. Nope, 0. Just 0. All right, no pixels there. Then we have our TR. Ah, bad habit, TR. I was making a table row right in the CSS. That'd be terrible. All right. Font size is 12. Then the font weight is bold. Then color is all those 7s. 6 7s. Border bottom is 1 pixel. And that F1, 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 F1. Oh, back up. There we go. And solid. And the padding is 10 pixels. Oops. And the margin is 0. Text align is left. Now it's normally left by default, so you don't always have to write that, but it doesn't hurt if you're trying to have control. All right, TD. And if you notice, I'm not putting periods in front of these because they're those elements. They're already part of the web language. So, TD. We have the same border bottom because it said to have it in both. Put that there. The same with its text align is left. So we can copy that and put that there. It wants the font weight to be lighter, bold. So we're going to use the relative term lighter. And its color is this darker gray, and it has a margin of 0, and it has some strange padding. So if you think of your little web cell, come over here and physically do it. If you like look at this area here, so this little block right here, and you think of it like a clock. When you start at 12, our day starts at 12 midnight, right? So we're up at the top, and so as we go around, these are the elements that we're going to put in that order. So the first number you see is always the top number, the next number is this number, then the bottom, and then this one. Now, if you only see 2 numbers, then it is for the top and the bottom, and the left and the right. Top always starts. So if you see 2 numbers in a padding, it's the top and the bottom and the left and the right. If you see 4 numbers, it's like north, east, south, west. 12, 3, 6, 9, like the clock. To this day, I still do that. When I look at the number, to figure out what number I'm trying to change. So it says that it wants 20 pixels on the top and the bottom and 10 pixels on the left and the right. So our padding is going to look like 20 pixels for the top, then so 20 pixels, and then you were looking at me, I'm the clock. Then this is the next number we're going to do. So that's 10 pixels. Then the bottom number. And these are the same, and they're doing this so that you learn where those are as far as the direction. But this could have easily been done with just 2 numbers. 20 pixels. And then the box over on this side is 10 pixels. Yeah. All right, now we got one more thing to write. Final value class has a font that's bold with 222FF. All right. And it's a class, so we put the period there again. Final value color. No. That. Nope. That number is just a funny number. All right. And then font weight bold. Whoop. I think that's it. All right, so if we run it, compare what it looks like to the top of the page, we should be pretty close. So purchase price, here's our fancy number. All right, submit it for grading. Just to make sure I told you the right ways to do it. Oh, I got an 8 out of 10. All right, what did I miss? Oh, padding for TH. I put 1 pixel. Typo. Oh. Right here. Header cell should have 10 pixels of padding and no margin. Yep, I totally skipped it. Alright. This should be TH. Sorry. I totally just went on autopilot. Alright. Alright, there we go. So my bad. I put TR. That's when I was trying to write the TR with the caret, so I apologize. But it should be TH. And that tells us here where it says table header cells. All right, let's try again. 1 typo is 2 points. Hey, there we go. All right. So sometimes it's just that silly little mix-up. All right, so I'll let you guys work on the other one, and then there's a bonus. I don't know if you guys have tried the bonuses before, but I can't have a grade in Blackboard for the bonus because then it takes away points from everybody who doesn't do the bonus. So inside Zybooks, I can see who's done the bonus. Do you have a question? Sure. Let me see if I can scooch it down a bit. There. And there'll be a video in Blackboard too, if you guys do this and then are like, I don't know what I did wrong. I was just following her. My phone just recorded all of that and tried to put it in a text message.
You should send that. Who's it going to send to?
My sister-in-law, who's not into any of this stuff. She all right. So on that note, I'm going to stop the recording so that I can just put the 2 lab video parts together. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I hit this button.